education should be positive only. It is no more producing mechanical robots or engineers or doctors. Education should be a celebration. Still do not have a very positive point of view for mental illnesses and ailments or issues.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our new episode of podcast. I'm Sneh, your host for today. It is an honor that we do have Mrs. Mamta Pandey, a person who's focusing on enriching knowledge through interactive platforms. She has been able to implement various community projects for the betterment of the society, like Swachh Vidyalaya, Environmental and Formation Scout and Guide, and even received awards for it. Presently, Mrs. Mamta Pandey is working as the principal of DAV Centenary School Karnal. So apart from these achievements, we are going to understand more about the from our conversation to follow. Shall I proceed, ma'am?
Please, by all
Thank
means.
you so much to be here today.
It's a pleasure for me.
So now my first question is like, what inspired you to pursue a career in education and eventually you become a school principal?
See, Sneh, a career is something which you slowly develop with your interest. So it was like I always felt myself interested in this teaching, learning. So it was during my education tenure, even when I was young, no, I would love to teach people, to tell them. So I believe this was my latent potential. It is like I recognized it later on in the later stages of my life, but yes, it was there. So as and when I took it, it was very soon I started my career just after completing my post graduation,
Okay.
and then I got versatile opportunities in different colleges, different schools. So it started like that.
So, can you share some memorable moments or achievements from your career that have had a lasting impact on both you and the school community?
This is a very difficult question you're asking
Okay.
me, because for us, every day is different. It comes with the new energy, new experiences, new learnings. It's like it keeps on adding things. So it's a like can you repeat the question you asked me?
Okay.
A special incident you said that when I felt
Some memorable moments.
okay,
Which you cannot forget.
So memorable moments like once we applied, like our children. You told, no, you have spoken in my introduction that we are doing specifically good in scouts and guides and community services. So my school is situated in rural area. So some of the girls, they applied for that Rashtrapati Bhavan, and the girls from this community, we went to that place.
Okay.
So it was such a good experience because at that time Rashtrapati Shri Kovandji, it was his first function.
Okay.
And we were there, and it was a lovely experience for the children. They felt highly energized meeting their president of India. So it was a boosting, morale boosting experience for them. So they enjoyed it, and besides that, lot many things keep on happening. Which always encourages. I told you that in teaching learning process, everything
all day comes with new excitement.
Yes, it goes with.
All right, thank you so much. So, as an educator, what is your philosophy, and when it comes to fostering a positive learning environment for students?
Education should be positive only. I mean, it is something. See, it should not be the target oriented thing. Education is a celebration. One must enjoy it. It is not like one has, government with NEP, with the advent of NEP also, it has undergone a massive change. And it will also change in future as well. But the thing is, we should take it as if everyone has a learning pace. And everyone is differently made.
Yes, that's
so
true.
Already is being this thing is being discussed, but it's very tough to bring it to the classrooms. It's a challenge. And for that we need to be empowered, we need to be trained, and we need to be more widened.
Okay.
I mean, we should forget the olden days. We should forget the olden targets. We have to unlearn the things, which is the most difficult task. isn't it?
Yes.
So we have to see that it is no more producing the mechanical robots or engineers or doctors. We have to look into that. We have to foster the humanity.
Humanity.
We have to try to look into what actually the child is made up of, and what he or she desires to do. So accordingly, I mean, it should be a process. I'm also one of the person who is against examination system and all. I believe it is a training, and it should go on for everyone, and then everyone must choose the I mean,
Right
should
path.
figure out what he or she is made up of. But yes, it doesn't mean that we have to leave the people for wayward things. It would be more difficult than acquiring grades, I'm telling you. If you have a target that child has to get 95, 98, okay, there are many agencies which are helping, teachers are helping, I mean, but when you have to train a person without a target, that would be a Herculean task, a real challenge, and that too dealing the 24th century kid. The 21st century kids, I mean, those who are born with the better developed minds. So obviously that would be a challenge. So I believe that is required.
Wow, thank
so
you
let
so
us make
much.
it a celebration. Education should be a celebration. Everyone must enjoy going to school.
Yes, they should not get scared.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words like really worthful, and even we will like follow this. We should not impose such target on the students. We should make them like, yeah, this is what you can enjoy.
Exactly. Whatever you are made up of, made for, you would surely go in that direction. You have seen many engineers going for MBAs, many of the doctors becoming poets and writers. So it is there. I mean, we need to look into, and we need to take care of the multiple genius also of the people.
So, ma'am, what kind of daily challenges do you face as a principal?
It's not only principal. Everyone faces challenges. But yes, when you are specifically asking me, diversity is a challenge. Sometimes the lack of resources is a challenge. It is the need of counselings and the mental condition of the children, the psychological status of parents, the increasing demands of people, and the most important for a mentor, for an educator, the problem which we face is to cover up the gap which is there between the learner and the caretakers at home, parents. So it's like that bridge we wish to make, which will make it one. I mean, the mentor, educator, and then the student, and then the parents. So we all become one union, and we have one perspective of empowering the child again, not training the child. So we don't have to be the trainers. We have to be, you can say, the facilitators or the real mentors. So that is the challenge. I mean, a union is required. A bridge is required between administration, school, and the parents.
So now, according to you, how the school community, including teachers and parents, contribute to creating a supportive environment for students' mental well-being? As if you told that there should be a bridge between teacher and educator. So how are you going to work together?
See, I mean, with the we have seen the thing, a pandemic like COVID, and we have seen how the society has drastically changed after that. The things, they are changing massively. So of course, mental status or mental health or mental training, I say it is very much required, and we need to look into, again, it is very much connected with the type of the training, other trainings, physical training, spiritual training, or I mean, intellectual training we are giving to the child. But in that, we need to see to it, what are you thinking, what is your mindset, which kind of the difficulties, what is there in your heart. So it's very important to look into the mental things, and especially it is a responsibility. Onus is here on schools as well, because the child goes there. I mean, in early morning, the child coming to the class, you don't know what he is and what he or she has felt at or experienced at home. So everything depends on that. So mental health is, of course, it is a concern. I mean, unluckily in India still, the things they are not so rampant. I mean, we still do not have a very positive point of view for this mental illnesses and ailments or issues. Even bipolars are also not accepted, which is a very common thing. So we need to have those kind of trainings which would make a child mentally also healthy. And they need to be somehow empowered and trained, and they should be, frank enough to openly tell what are they feeling.
They should be vocal,
isn't
about
it? Times are gone. I mean, it was long back when we were there to suppress the things. More you suppress and more volcanic it becomes the passage of time. So you need to give a vent. Let it come out. So once it comes out, half of the mental issues would be automatically done. And if we're talking of, I mean, my last question is directly connected to the first question, I believe. So if you have made education a celebration, if the pressures are removed from there, so obviously it will result into the step by step the things are going through. So you'll have to make a specific learning environment in school and the educational institution, and then next it would go to the achieving the desired learning outcomes, not the targets. I would not again use the word target. Okay, we would be talking of the desired achievements, yes. And then of course it would lead to this mental, so counselings, one-to-one talk and openness at the side of parent.
The outcome will be good only.
The child has, I mean, no more. It is a 21st century child is not the child like we were there in our own times. I mean, we did not have access to such things which today's child has. I mean, so many of things you and I, we might not be knowing. My child knows it. So if I tell that child, don't do that, don't do this, it could be, I mean, highly wrong.
It is like for them, are we like nosy? In such
and it would be funny. I mean, the inside the child would laugh at you. So the thing is that we have to see how and what can be done to deal this advanced generation. And for that we need to plan a strategy.
Even
so they are trained. We need to be more trained.
Okay, thank you so much. Even I do believe such things. So ma'am, my next question is like, what is the influence of societal expectations on both parents and students, and what are the strategies for navigating and promoting mental resilience?
See, I already discussed. It is reduction of pressure, of course. It should be openness in the environment, and then making the children occupied. We are talking of skill education, vocational education, no? I mean, CBSE is also emphasizing, schools are emphasizing. We are talking of that it should be activity-oriented curriculum. So once the children are more occupied, they are given access to the different phases of society, and they know the things in advance. So their talents, their hidden potentials, they would be channelized automatically. And once they are channelized, it would be surely beneficial for the society.
That's true. So ma'am, do you have any student that you have come across that such a student, like, it's under pressure to score, good academic, and the pressure is there from the home? Do you have ever?
Many, ma'am, many. I would say many.
So how did
many stories that if I would tell you,
would you like to share with us?
So many stories. I mean, you never know. The thing is, again, we should not be target oriented. See, we talk of inclusive education. It's again related to our mental health. Again, it's related to the targets and
parenting.
Yes, exactly. So inclusive education, we talk of it, we preach of it, but when it comes to practical implementation, again, it requires lot of courage. It requires your attention. It requires your time, which sometimes the time frame does not allow you. But yes, it really works. I remember one child, I mean, a parentless child. I mean,
orphan.
No, not orphan, you cannot say. I mean, I would not use this word. But the parents, they passed away in some accident, and the child was being taken care of by the grandparents. So obviously, grandparents were not in an age who would be able to take care of the mental needs of the child. And I was the teacher of that child. So whenever I would read, I mean, whatever she had written as a language teacher, it would be like beginning with the right things, and then
Okay.
it would be in between writing anything and everything she would feel like.
Okay, which is
I
not
mean,
relevant.
which was not relevant. I mean,
Okay.
maybe sometimes talking about some classmate, talking about some
Okay.
teacher,
Okay.
or anything and everything. And it would be at that time, because when I would say that it was for me also a new experience, a learning experience. I'm talking of like years back,
Yes.
when this mental health and everything was not discussed upon so openly.
People were
So
not.
I would go through, I would, I would read, and I would also sometimes from inside would feel irritated, but something in me would resist that no, it should be given a chance. So again, counseling, not it is not like this, it is like that. So slowly that content it reduced,
Okay.
the vague content it reduced.
Okay.
And it was like the journey from grade 8 to grade 12.
Okay.
And it took 4 to 5 years. So don't
4 years.
expect
Yes.
that a conditioning or counseling you're doing of somebody, it would bear result within no time. It might not.
Not. Maybe
So you should be
instant
ready.
result.
You should be
Yes.
ready
Mhm.
to get it. And you're talking of like you saw that somebody was not doing. I've seen many of my students who were not doing so well in academics, and at that time, I mean, they were not being taken care of, and they're well settled in different kind of business. They're running their own units. I mean, they were differently skilled. But the thing that we could not give that kind of the path or that good kind of the direction which they might have acquired later on. So when we are talking of vocational education at the early ages, now this is the pious duty of mentors, teachers, everyone to read the student closely. You have to be, you have to get attached with your
Student.
that, yes. I mean, whosoever is your scholar, you have to take care of that child, understand, measure, and your parents' role is also very important. Instead of fulfilling your those right desires which you wanted, and you want your child to get that, so please, and somehow compromising the economic that targets. Because as a parent, I would always love that my child should be, in the bed of roses, earning very well. So that would be, wrong. It should not be like that. So we have to see to it that what child is actually made up of. Then need to attend the needs and then give the directions. And it would require a lot of courage. Training at the part of parent, at the part of teacher, institution, and then a trust must be there amongst us. And then when together we can work. So every child is alive. And that life, it means something.
It is
when
precious,
this life, which life is going to be, your Olympic gold medalist or the politician, or it would be another prime minister or your president or a scientist or a Nobel Prize winner. You don't know it. So please take care of. I mean, while handling every child, please understand
they are kind of fragile.
Yeah, need to take care of. So that is required. So that type of the strategies, and it is really very challenging. Really very challenging.
It is like the way I'm getting it from you, that you have like seen so many students who are under.
So I'm telling you that if we'll start telling you those stories, it is going to go very long, very long. But we learn from every experience. We see that how does it go.
So, ma'am, means in your career you have learned one thing, that how to counsel your student, how to
counsel, give them direction, support them. The most important thing to support the child. That is, somehow it makes you a favorite of them. You must have seen in the schools all the teachers, the students, they love their physical education teachers, their art education teachers, because they don't pressurize them. So wherever the pressure reduces, learning increases. It's inversely proportional. So we have to see how that can be done.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Really inspiring me, right now, that we have to be positive always.
We have to be positive. We have to be positive, and we need to train ourselves, prepare ourselves for what is going to come tomorrow. We have to have a futuristic vision.
Yes.
A futuristic vision. The child which is there in school today, will come out in the market after 10 years.
10 years.
And after 10 years, how the societal needs would increase, change, or what the society would demand, we need to think till that point. Then only we would be able to give future ready kids.
To have a good vision for that.
Exactly.
So, ma'am, my question is again one thing, like why parents are so much, imposing their kids and the students like to get high score in academic, you have to perform well, you have to get it good only. Why? I mean, due to the competition or competitive era, because of
See,
that.
Sneh, parents we should not ignore their point of view as well. They're not the enemies, they are the experienced ones. They have seen the life differently.
Yes.
And on the basis of their experiences, they want their children to be out of those things, no? I mean, it is not essential that you taste poison in order to know how does it
Yes.
taste like, isn't it?
True, yes.
So they want their children to be away from that, right? But again, it is the same thing that we have a thought which was made before years,
Yes.
and the world is changing every day. So I mean, I might have some kind of the opinion about you yesterday, but it might not match about tomorrow. You may change for a few things.
Yes.
So similarly, everything is dynamic. Every profession is dynamic. You see, a few years back, people were mad for becoming engineers and doctors, right? Now the trend is changing. Trend is changing. So it would keep on like changing differently. So we have to see that how the things they can be channelized as per the potential of the child. So parents, they don't have to see. I mean, you cannot expect that a fish would climb the tree. So we have to see what the need of the child is, and what kind of the capacity the child is born with. And when we are talking of that skill development, when we are talking of talent recognition, when we are talking of channelizing the energy, a good mental environment, one-to-one bridging between parent and educators. So obviously things they would go on the right path
consequences will be.
And government is also, I mean, doing well. We are experimenting. I mean, NEP is coming up, and the things they would change. We are saying that we can get 2 degrees simultaneously. So it was like earlier also the people were doing it, but they were doing it illegally. Now it is legal. If one has capacity, one can do it. If I have studied, I want to keep it on a standstill, and I wish to pursue later on after 2 years. I realized that I was made for that. I have time to change. I mean, I have opportunity to change myself. So this would of course help children. And future is now, I mean, it is just for living. You have to see, you have to measure, you have to experience it, right? So the only thing is that we have to shoo away, we have to just try to get rid of the old notions and thoughts we have. If I'm a doctor, I should not think that my child should be a doctor. It can be something else, whatever he or she is made up of. So first of all, I need to recognize, find out, locate. So this is what I did, that the parents, teachers, mentors together, they have to see that where the child has to read, walk and run. So it would start from there only.
Yes.
Let's start.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Even I'm a mother and I'm getting so many things from you right now. So you're better in future. Even I would like to implement such thing on my own.
It must be. It must be.
So, ma'am, it will be my last question. So, would you like to share any success stories or positive outcomes resulting from the school's focus on promoting mental health?
Success stories, I told you that if I'll start telling you stories, there are so many. I narrated you or told you. And these are something which we shall not talk on a public platform. But yes, when you help somebody, when you support somebody, every day the stories are there. And see, Sneh, why do we expect that the things should be the stories? And they should be for others. If you are supporting someone, and see, some child was at point 10, right, and with my support has gone on 15, it is not a story, but for me it's a big deal. I'm happy with this. That is a day would be 20, 25, 26. No, so I mean, so many such stories. I met so many of the kids who said, ma'am, you just made me crack my exams, I'm so happy. So that's also, for me, it is a story that somebody feels, ma'am, you helped me in cracking the exam. So, see, when you make your child,
Strong
feel
enough,
feel
mentally
strong enough
strong.
and to trust in you, the child
Yes.
develops that trust.
Yes.
The things automatically they take the right path. So many such stories are there. No, I mean, which you could not expect and happened,
Yes.
which you could not think
Unexpected.
of. No,
Yes.
unexpected things they
Unexpected.
happen. So it is there. So one should focus the process, not the product.
Product.
So products
Exactly.
they'll come out automatically if the process is good.
Means being a teacher, we should focus on the quality.
Many, I mean, when you teach for years and you become a principal, it is not only one, two, three, four, hundreds of success stories. They come along with you, and they stay in your heart. When you go somewhere, when the people they meet you, they come excitedly and they say that, "Ma'am, it was because of you." You have to think, what did I do? The thing that you were doing your works that with your that pace and the things they were taking care of. It is that.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again to be here.
No,
Thank
I'm
you so
also
much
privileged and it was a
for
good
your.
interaction. It was a
Okay.
brainstorming session.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you so